Elizabeth Warren obviously understands killing and murder and shooting somebody in the back is totally unacceptable. But what I think has happened in the last few months is that what you have seen rising up is people's anger at a health insurance industry which denies people the health care that they desperately need while they make billions and billions of dollars in profit.
Well, of course, shooting somebody in the back is wrong, but... And then he goes on to explain exactly why it was justified. Of course, this is the same Bernie Sanders. One of his supporters showed up at a baseball game, softball practice, forget what it was, GOP congressman there, and guys showed up and tried to murder everybody. He was a huge Bernie Sanders supporter, tried to do it because of the things Bernie Sanders told him all the time. Interesting how often violence follows these people. Joining me now, Jeffrey A. Tucker, founder and president of the Brownstone Institute. Jeffrey, it is so wild how often political violence gets traced right back to a communist. It's almost as if it's in their nature.
There's a deeper issue going on here, and it's not even the communists. This is an attempt to change the narrative structure of our times, where we're seeing all these preference cascades. Everything's being brought into question. The deep state, for that matter, daylight savings time, vaccine mandates, big rule by agencies. Doge is talking about $2 trillion cuts. Everything is changing. And it's all a result of a kind of populist movement that is increasingly skeptical of the elites. So what you have with this killing right now is an attempt to divert the populist movement and change its structure away from pharma, away from agencies, away from big media, and captured by the deep state towards completely innocent people who are just trying to, exist within, the enterprise system as it's been set up, namely health insurance. It's not their fault that the system is such a messed up thing. That's Obamacare. And so the killing of this guy it's a performative assassination. It's like, well, yeah, he did kill him, and that's bad. On the other hand, the public is upset. So it's a kind of a faux populism designed to replace the real populism and divert people's anger away from government, media, big tech, over towards completely blameless sources that are existing within the structure that the left itself set up with Obamacare, and it's a classic sort of triangulating move by the creators of ruling class creators of sort of public narratives designed for the public mind. That's what's happening, and it's not at all unusual this happens right before Trump gets inaugurated.
So you think this is more the left trying to co-opt a populist uprising against some evils, them trying to grab it and kind of divert it, if you will?
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. I mean, the insurance companies, again, they just exist within a structure that was set up. The healthcare system, obviously needs reform, but killing the CEO of United Health, it's just an outrageous act of murder. And what's interesting about this guy, Luigi Mangione, he's straight out of Central Casting, so. He's good looking and, got a six pack. He's got all this kind of stuff going for him. He's killed in righteous anger for his supposed injury. But, from a class point of view, what's interesting is this guy comes from a mega wealthy family, went to the finest prep schools, and he killed a guy who, lifted himself up off his bootstraps, working odd jobs as a kid, and so it's a way of saying it doesn't matter if you're rich and privileged. What matters is that you're killing the people who deserve public scorn and blame, and that's why the universal messaging ever since this assassination has been, well, that's bad, but it's not so bad, and what else do you expect when you have such a bad system? And don't you think we need Medicare for all or socialized medicine. So that's what's going on. People need to understand this. There's a big difference between the United Healthcare CEO and the Pfizer CEO, which is definitely allied with state power. And the United Health CEO is it's a private company doing its best to operate within a totally messed up structure. So it's an attempt to divert the populist energies away from the real bad guys towards fake bad guys and pave the way for, actually, in fact, more state power and Medicare for all and socialized medicine, as Bernie Sanders wants. And once you see this, it's impossible not to notice. And I'm not saying that there is a plot, to set this guy up and achieve this, but there might as well have been. Certainly, certain interests out there are trying to use this as a way of changing the debate and discussion that's going on in this country, which has become gravely threatening to a lot of powers that be. So, we need to be alert to this kind of stuff between now and inauguration, and for that matter afterwards. An attempt to kind of rile the public up against fake enemies, so we'll stop targeting the real enemies.
Jeffrey, you mentioned Obamacare, and a lot of people, obviously we have short memories. It happens in societies. People don't realize how responsible Obamacare is for the disastrous healthcare system we now have in this country. They just don't get it.
They have no idea, and something I've raged against, and which I hope is going to come into question, is this idea that health insurers have to insure everybody, regardless of their risk. I mean, that means it's not insurance, really. The actuaries are not in charge. And the funny thing is, it's not as if the actuaries don't exist within healthcare. It's just they're not allowed to run risk profiles against individuals. They have to do it against whole classes and whole regions, and in effect shove us into a kind of socialistic system that's administered by private companies that have no choice about it. So, everybody pays for everybody else's health care now, and that's why your premiums soared after Obamacare. And really the 90%, or I don't know how you want to look at the numbers, but it's like, the overwhelming majority are paying hugely high prices for a small minority of people that are consuming all the resources. And I'm not proposing we have a different central plan. All I'm suggesting is that our healthcare ought to work more like auto insurance, and be more specifically targeted to individuals, and that would make such a huge difference. Right now, there's absolutely no incentive for anybody to get healthy. I mean, if you're a change in diet and exercise and quit smoking and substance abuse and stuff caused your health insurance that you were personally paying, if you were personally paying as opposed to your business, which is another thing that needs to change. If that could make a difference, it would immediately contribute mightily to the Make America Healthy Great Again, Make America Healthy Again agenda. Whereas right now, it really doesn't matter whether you're desperately ill by your own hand or by an accident of nature, or whether you've been working to get healthy again. It's not going to change anything about your premiums. And the other thing is that we can't have catastrophic healthcare coverage that would cost $50 a month or whatever, because you have these predetermined packages, and this is all a consequence of Obamacare. It was a cockamamie, crazy system when it went in, and it was destined to vastly increase healthcare costs and pillage us and give us worse outcomes, and that was inevitable from the very beginning. Now that it's happened, you've got Bernie Sanders out there, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Nothing wrong with the public being mad at of all people, the end health insurance companies rather than the government that makes them operate within a certain structure. I mean, we need dramatic healthcare reform in this country. We need to start to seriously talk about it and raise questions about these these preset benefit packages. Okay, that's one thing. Another one is the mandate that they accept all comers no matter how unhealthy they are, and can't adjust premiums based on the health of the individual. That's outrageous. And a third thing we need to get away from is this idea that companies themselves should be required to buy health insurance for their employees and split the difference either way with the employees. And so people think healthcare comes automatically when you have a job. I mean, that's not true. It's coming out of your salary and out of your wages, and you're paying way more than you should, thanks to all these Obamacare mandates. So I would love to see those three things just blasted away. And that would go a very long way to fixing American healthcare. And I tell you what's not going to fix American healthcare is killing CEOs of health insurance companies. But that's what they want you to believe. Yeah. And it's all designed to achieve certain results. So I just hope your listeners are aware. We need to increasingly look at public life in this country as if it was a sort of a movie being scripted for us, and we shouldn't be manipulated by it. It's very, very dangerous. And as long as you're alert to how that manipulation takes place, then you can insulate yourself from the effects of this kind of stuff. But that's exactly what's going on right now. Luigi Mangione was they tried to valorize him and turn him into a hero to get rid of our other heroes in the form of Elon Musk or Vivek Ramaswamy or Donald Trump or RFK Jr. So this is an attempt to create, manufacture, cobble together in a Hollywood style a new hero that everybody's supposed to look towards. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are vulnerable and easy to manipulate, and they're going for it. And it's pretty pathetic.
It is very pathetic. Jeffrey, thank you. I appreciate you. Come back soon. I would thank you for coming to my YouTube channel, but I know how brilliant it is, and I know you love it here. So subscribe and watch. We're going to start really ramping things up and putting some funny stuff, some interesting stuff out there, some collaborations. Either way, my YouTube channel is officially the place to be. So stick around.